'Tis the season for inflation. Prices for things like fast food and eggs are on the rise ahead of Christmas. Promises of a Taiwan defense grant from the US fall through. As COVID outbreaks continue to spread in China, experts decry Beijing's lack of an exit plan from the pandemic. And in the latest edition of our series, Where's the County Chief Taking Us?, find out which county has the best beaches and the best chocolate in Taiwan. A warm welcome to TaiwanPlus News. I'm Liao. Two major fast food chains raised prices in Taiwan earlier this week. This comes as Taiwan, just like the rest of the world, is grappling with inflation. Earlier today, I took a look at how one vital ingredient in fast food items is getting more expensive just ahead of Christmas. 'Tis the season for inflation. We might be getting close to the most wonderful time of the year, but rising prices don't have people in Taiwan feeling very jolly. That's because two major global fast food chains recently raised prices in Taiwan. The two chains hiked prices by up to 30 cents US for various products. People in Taiwan will have to shell out more for everything from hamburgers to fried chicken. Another popular snack that's also more expensive now are these, egg tarts. And one of the main ingredients in egg tarts that are also getting more expensive are, well, eggs. And while big businesses have the advantage of scale to offset fluctuations in price, smaller ones don't.
涨到心都很痛啦，不敢再涨了啦，再涨怕客人跑光光。
It's not just businesses feeling the pinch. Rising egg prices are also affecting everyday shoppers.
鸡蛋涨很多哦，没办法。
Let's put it into perspective. These two egg tarts actually cost more than this lunchbox. When you put it that way, well, inflation may very well be getting in the way of the holiday spirit. So in Taiwan, fast food or eggs may make a nice, if pricey, last-minute Christmas gift. Taiwan's unemployment rate has dropped to its lowest level in almost a year. The country's top statistics agency says just over 3.6% of workers were looking for a job in November. That's the lowest in 10 months. More than 20,000 people found new jobs, most of them in the service sector. Officials expect those companies to keep hiring more workers heading into the Lunar New Year. Taiwan's legislature has passed the first reading to amendments that would increase fines on drivers who don't yield for pedestrians. Yu Jinghuang investigates how big of an impact the new rules would really have.
Another busy day on Taiwan's crowded roads, with pedestrians caught in the headlights. Drivers turning right in Taiwan are supposed to yield to people crossing the road, something they often fail to do. The government is hoping that a new legal amendment could help change that. The rule passed its first reading in Taiwan's legislature on Thursday. It would raise fines on drivers who fail to yield to pedestrians from $120 to $200 US. And for those who cause injury or death, well, they could face even heavier fines or have their license revoked. But a transportation management expert says fines are unlikely to really change driver behavior.
短期里面当然有效，但是也要看它这个执法的强度如何。如果大家都没有什么执法，那如果你罚款提得太高也没有用嘛。
This latest attempt to clean up Taiwan's roads comes after a CNN article highlighting the dangers for pedestrians in the country. An NGO promoting road safety told TaiwanPlus that just changing the law won't change Taiwan's driving culture.
目前我们看到是很积极的利用修改法则的方式去宣扬说，要停让行人的这个规定。但是就算想遵守，我们也应该要去重视说，要创造那个可以遵守的条件。因为毕竟重点是在于我们要让大家能够确实的遵守，让意外不要发生，而不是说确保意外发生之后有人会受到惩罚。这两个的目的性是不太一样的。
Zhang agrees that an overhaul of Taiwan's roadways is needed before there will be any meaningful improvements.
我们为了顾虑到行人的通行，其实也不能够不考虑到车辆运行的一个效率。就是说，这个道路的交通号志的设计，也必须在这个时间应该要重新做一个检讨。
If passed, the latest amendments to the Road Traffic Management and Penalty Act will be another small step towards safer roads in Taiwan. But with thousands of people dying in traffic accidents every year, experts agree it's about time Taiwan took some bigger strides forward. Rick Yi and Eugene Huang for TaiwanPlus.
The United States Congress has passed a bill authorizing $2 billion towards Taiwan's defense. But this will now come in the form of loans, not grants, as had been previously promised. Rick Liao has more.
Speaking highly of an important ally. This week, Taiwan reiterated the close bond between the island nation and the United States. Relations between the two countries have grown closer in the face of increasing hostility from neighboring China.
第一个，拜登政府对台湾的安全承诺仍然坚若磐石。拜登政府在过去1年之内7度宣布对台军售，落实军售常态化。那军售的价值约总共有28亿6600万美元。
But this week saw the crucial friendship hit a rocky patch when promises of a military spending grant failed to materialize. It was hoped that the US would provide funds to help Taiwan deter an attack from China, which claims the country as its own and has upped threats to take by force. When the US passed its 2023 Defense Authorization Act earlier this month, it included a significant grant for Taiwan. They voted on spending $2 billion towards bolstering Taiwan's defensive capabilities, an amount that would be renewed annually over the next 5 years. But a vote in Congress earlier this week reversed the suggestion of giving Taiwan money and decided that the grants should be changed to loans. Taiwan's foreign ministry said it would continue the conversation with its US counterparts. US lawmakers backing the grants claimed the Biden administration had not prioritized Taiwan, and experts say the provisions were a victim of behind-the-scenes political wrangling in Washington.
台湾呢，显然对美国来说重要性还没有高过这两国的，不是说美国故意杀我们，而是他自己内部有困难。我觉得应该这样理解。
As tensions with China rise, both Taiwan and the US continue to tout their rock-solid relationship. But this change in Washington is a reminder that any support is still at the whims of domestic politics. Kamashu and Rick Lowett for TaiwanPlus.
In international news, the owner of social media app TikTok has admitted that it used harvested data to spy on journalists. Chinese company ByteDance says 4 of its employees took IP addresses from TikTok accounts. Then they used that data to track reporters who were investigating the company. ByteDance says the employees were trying to find out who was leaking company information to the journalists. It says all 4 of the employees have been fired. The company shared the results of its investigation in an internal email sent on Thursday. The news comes as the firm faces heavy pressure for how it handles data. Taiwan is considering banning the app entirely. TikTok has 1 billion active users. It's one of the fastest growing social media platforms in the world. Pharmacies in Taiwan may soon need to ration cold medication. That's according to the country's health authorities. A major outbreak of COVID-19 in China has seen Taiwanese buying up supplies to send to people living across the strait. The southern city of Kaohsiung reported a noticeable rise in the number of packages sent to China this week. At least one pharmacy chain has already announced limits on how much cold medicine each customer can buy. And the government says it may institute its own rationing system.
实在是非常严重的话，那再进一步是不是考虑用实名制的方式，用暂时性的实名制，暂时性的实名制来做这个相关的管制。
With COVID-19 continuing to spread across China, the country's healthcare facilities are being strained to their limits. But official figures are telling a very different story. Ryan Hill-Kilpatrick has more.
Overwhelmed hospitals, empty pharmacies, morgues and crematoria stretched beyond capacity. These scenes of the COVID-19 outbreaks tearing across China paint a desperate picture. A doctor at a Shanghai hospital says staff are struggling to keep up amid surging demand and unpredictable policy shifts. To protect her identity, she asked not to appear on camera and to have her voice distorted.
病人越来越多，就是一天比一天多的感觉。因为现在医院也没有一个很完美的方案去概括所有的问题，就是每天的政策都在改变。
All this defies the official figures. Since abruptly ending years of harsh zero-COVID measures earlier this month, the government has reported daily deaths in the single digits. A virologist at a Hong Kong university says they're manipulating how cases are counted in order to minimize the crisis. She asked that we also take steps to protect her identity.
They have a system where they only count any death which has respiratory failure as the cause of death on the death certificate. This is in stark contrast to an opposition for the United States, which, for instance, is any situation where the SARS infection was likely to lead to death. I would calculate that the United States would have about 75,000 COVID-19 deaths using China's criteria. The actual number is 1 million there.
The government's sudden about-face on COVID came after nationwide anti-lockdown protests. But the extent of the current outbreaks, this expert says, shows COVID-0 had already failed at this point.
It is very clear that the outbreaks had already been going just from the numbers, and as for how plausible it is, not at all. We're still in the relative early days. There's always a time lag between cases and deaths. But if you just look at just any of the articles, you have crematoria working 24/7, backed up with days. The bodies in the refrigerator trucks in the middle of the street, stuff like that. It is completely implausible, and just based off of everything that we know, primarily from Hong Kong, it's going to get worse. By the time this peters out, we'll expect something on the order of 1 to 3 million.
Earlier this year, once COVID-free Hong Kong saw its death rate top the world when the virus finally slipped through the cracks, decimating the under-vaccinated elderly population. Experts see the same tragedy now replaying in the mainland.
Then China resist having mRNA, and China did not spend a lot of effort on vaccination of older people. Instead, they spend too much effort on PCR. So a lot of observers already point out the cost of PCR almost equal to the cost of vaccination. Why not vaccine older people first? But you can see that China did not do that.
These images emerging from China almost all come from the country's biggest and most developed cities. The situation in smaller cities and the countryside may be far worse.
China's healthcare system is very unequal. If you go to Beijing, they have so many good hospitals. Then if you go to Shanghai, also not so bad. But if you go to third-tier cities or like rural areas, it's different situation. Rural areas, if you call ambulance, they will not come to you within 1 hour. Even sometimes they will come to you within 2 or 3 hours. It's impossible to handle some emergent cases.
As the wider world moves on, China's opening up bookends the long and tragic story of this pandemic. And it is ending much as it began in Wuhan 3 years ago, with the rest of the world anxiously looking to China and wondering what is really happening on the ground. Ryan Hill-Kilpatrick for TaiwanPlus.
Christmas, which is right around the corner, is a time of celebration. But unfortunately for some, there's little joy to be found. In times of sadness, many people turn to music. Some even consider it therapeutic. One indie band in Taiwan has found a particular following among LGBTQ fans, with their music helping a number of people through difficult times. This is their story.
This is Pisco, a Taiwanese indie dance rock band. And the lyrics of this song have brought hope to many fans. Pisco has become something of a representative for the LGBTQ community in Taiwan's indie music scene. The band often gets thank you notes from queer fans who are dealing with mental health issues. When they formed in 2010, they weren't trying to attract a queer audience. Guitarist Rachel, an open trans woman, remembers the moment when that changed.
好几年前我们在台中有一场表演，我就说，我想要从这场表演开始挂上彩虹旗在音箱上，然后团员们全部都同意，觉得这样很好。所以也许就是从那个时候开始，然后再加上后续的创作开始有，去往那个方向写。
Pisco is known for its ritualistic performances and for its cult following.
我都会叫大前辈或是前辈，就是我们几个粉丝，像李组长也好，欧弟也好，就是他们那种是真的是10年以上的粉丝。但有一个粉丝比较特别，他叫洗衣粉，他虽然没有刚刚的大前辈那么久，可是他在这8年之间，我们每场表演他能到，他几乎都会到。他好像已经看我们200多场了吧。
加辣吗？小辣吗？小辣。我叫洗衣粉，我追 Pisco 8年了。我目前在开饭团店，饭团店下班之后做外送这样。
Life has been difficult for Even. She struggled with mental illness for a long time.
平常生活很没有起劲，就是包含工作啊，或者觉得所有的事情都很无趣。对，不知道在这里干嘛，但是只有唯独看 Pisco 的时候可以感到开心快乐。他们是带给我快乐的唯一吗？唯一。
So what makes Pisco's music so powerful? Even the band has a hard time putting it to words.
我觉得也许是我们音乐里面所说的故事，不知不觉吸引到了他们。就是我们有几首创作，其实就是在往那个方向去写。所以也许就打动了他们，这样子。
One of those songs is called "Hey Dear."
我们好像就是在某年我们练团的时候，就是收到一个很不好的消息，就我们有个乐迷因为忧郁症，然后自杀离开了。对，然后我记得当下那个，就是实在是打击太大，太难过，因为太突然，没想到就像是永远再也看不到一个人了。那所以就是尽量在写歌上，对我就用我自己自身的经验来，就是写相关的议题，然后就希望可以给就是这些人更多力量。
里面很像在写我的心情。快乐是什么？我怎么都不懂。很贴近啊，很贴近我的心情。
Music itself has the power to bring a lot of effects like empowerment, like validations, validate people's feeling, validate their emotions, and helping people to feel comfort when they listen to music. And there's a lot of things music can do.
Guo Jingyi is a certified music therapist. She says listening to music can offer relief, but it's still important to get professional help.
If you feel your mind or if your behaviors or something is out of control in your life and you really don't understand what's going on, it's better for you just go to see some professions like doctors and counselors to get more solid treatments.
For Even, however, that can be something that's easier said than done.
真的痛苦到不行的时候，有想说要走出门看医生，连要走出门看医生都觉得很难做到。然后那时候记得就躺着嘛，每天张开眼睛就会觉得怎么又醒来了。但是因为Pisco的表演还是非常多，所以在非常痛苦的时候，还是要暗算下一次的表演什么时候要去看。要怎么去这样子这类的，它是让我可以出门吧，见到人这样子。
Sometimes what you need is the right music and a handful of friends to prop you up. Damon Lin, Kama Xu, Yvonne Yang, and Andrew Ryan for TaiwanPlus.
For the full version of this story, please visit TaiwanPlus.com. If you're in the mood for a beach vacation, and really, who isn't? One of the best places in Taiwan is the southernmost county of Pingtung, but if it's too cold for you, you can go there for the chocolate instead. Today we bring you part 1 of Where's the Pingtung County Chief Taking Us?
A public library that reflects the forest, a fashion show on one of Taiwan's oldest city walls, and award-winning tree-to-bar chocolates. These are just some of the things you'll find in Pingtung, at the southernmost tip of Taiwan's main island. For the first stop in our trip to Pingtung, the county chief has suggested that we come here to this historic village. I see there's a cafe right here, so I'm going to start with a cup of coffee. 谢谢。哎，县长你怎么会在这里？
我来当一日店长，就是来特别给你介绍屏东。这个地方叫胜利新村，它是在1924年在日本统治台湾的时候，日治时期的时候，它就是一个大概非官的宿舍。过去已经100多年的这些建筑呢，那这个过程我们就特别把它修复。那所以把它修复好之后，就把它变成一个让年轻人这边创业的基地。
This is the largest cluster of Japanese-era buildings in all of Taiwan, more than 100 in total. It's brimming with youthful energy. There are restaurants and shops selling crafts, and it's become a hub of creativity for Pingtung. Some of the buildings that have fallen into disrepair have even been transformed into art installations.
那如果县长要介绍屏东 给外国人的话，你会介绍什么样的地方或什么样的特色呢？
因为我对屏东太了解，我要介绍要讲3天3夜讲不完。屏东呢，因为我们有高山，有3000多公尺的高山，到平原到海边，大概1个半小时。有最早的主人原住民，还有移民来的这种汉族，甚至呢客家、河洛、闽南，甚至的新住民，它算是一个台湾社会的缩影。所以呢，它的 旅游元素，或是祭典，或是相关的一些文化元素呢，都是可以带动很多的旅游跟观光。其实，在每一个地方都是我的秘密景点。套句我们的原住民讲的话，叫要5个太阳4个月亮，或是3个太阳2个月亮，就是3天2夜了哈。
Now, it takes a little planning to find your way to Pingtung. That's because many of the hidden gems are located off the beaten path. But the county is building a network of trains, buses, and taxis in the hope that people will come and stay for a while rather than just making a quick trip to the beach.
来，
谢谢。
我们屏东在地的巧克力。
哇，谢谢谢谢，哇，好棒哦！
这是裴洛西来的时候送给他。 吃的这个巧克力跟其他你吃到市面上的巧克力有什么不同？
它的口味会有一种独一无二的，只有屏东的巧克力才会有的味道。
对，全世界的巧克力大概都已经是把可可脂萃取了，就可可的油了啊。屏东我就要求我们农民，你绝对不能萃取可可脂，保留原来的风味。屏东可可，台湾巧克力也因此打出了世界名号。
What makes Pingtung's chocolate so special is that they grow the beans and make the final product all in the same place. It's what they call tree-to-bar, and the beans get their own unique flavor from the terroir, in the same way that the grapes used to make wine are influenced by the place in which they're grown. Taiwanese chocolatiers have also infused the Pingtung cacao with their own creativity, pairing it with local fruits and teas and winning awards along the way. When you visit, you can try your hand at turning the local beans into bars. But if you're anything like me, you'll want to sample as many as possible just to make sure you can fully appreciate the craft.
Oh.
好吃吗？喜欢吗？吃到屏东这边的巧克力，就是更能有那种体会，就是这边的阳光、这边的空气、这边的水的那种感觉。
There are other ways to experience the bright Pingtung sunshine, too. The county is home to the nation's most popular beach destination, Kending.
This is Nanwan or South Bay, and as you can see, it's a beautiful day. Blue skies, a bit of a breeze, the surf is up, and that's what makes it the perfect place for water sports. And in fact, there are beaches just like this one all along the southern tip of Taiwan. And that's the reason why most people come to Pingtung.
If you venture beyond the beaches, you'll discover that Pingtung is home to some of the most astonishing wildlife, too. The outlying island of Xiaoliuqiu has the highest density of sea turtles in the world. You can swim with them, but don't touch them. That's illegal. The Hengchun Peninsula to the south is teeming with natural wonders. It's home to Taiwan's first national park, where conservationists have successfully brought back an endemic species of sika deer. And every year in the fall, migrating raptors choose this very spot to transit on their way south. Thousands of people also descend upon southern Taiwan for the Hengchun Folk Music Festival, which is helping to revive a dying art form. Today, you can even see models strutting on a makeshift catwalk on top of the city's century-old walls.
That was Andrew Ryan with Alex Chen, Kama Xu, and Piqi Zhuang. We'll have part 2 of their trip to Pingtung at 11 p.m. tonight in What's Up Taiwan. Be sure to check it out. Thank you for watching Taiwan Plus News. Remember to download the Taiwan Plus app for more stories from Taiwan and around the world. Finally today, we leave you with images of Madrid's festive lights dazzling visitors ahead of Christmas. I'm Liao, and from all of us here at Taiwan Plus, take care and happy holidays.